You are connected to more people than any human in history has ever been. And yet at least some nights, you sit with the peculiar feeling of being profoundly unseen. Known by many, witnessed by none. You haven't posted a photo that wasn't considered in 6 years. Considered for lighting, for angle, for what it says about the life you're living. Your captions are drafted. Your stories have an arc. The version of you that exists online is, by now, a careful construction. Not dishonest exactly, but selected. A highlight reel that has become, through sheer repetition, the face you show to the world. There is a name for this, and a cost. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung noticed 100 years ago that every human being builds a kind of social mask to function in society. He called it the persona, from the Latin word for the masks that ancient Greek actors wore on stage. Jung didn't think the persona was bad. He thought it was necessary. What he warned about was what happens when the mask grows more real than the face underneath it. The persona, Jung wrote, is a compromise between the individual and society. It's the face you put on to be a professional, a parent, a friend, a neighbor. It smooths you out. It makes you legible to strangers. You need it. The problem begins when the gap between the persona and your actual interior life grows too wide. When the face you show to the world is not just a polished version of you, but a different person entirely, whose life you are then obligated to maintain. Jung saw this in his patients a century before social media existed. He saw it in professionals who had become so fused with their role that they had no idea who they were outside it. He saw it in people who had performed competence for so long that the performance had replaced the person doing it. His word for the suffering this produces was a mild one, but an exact one. He called it a neurosis, by which he meant a split inside a single person between what they are and what they are pretending to be. A split that consumes more and more energy to maintain. A split that eventually exhausts the person maintaining it. Every generation has had its own version of the persona problem. Ours has an acceleration no previous generation had. The curated self is no longer something you perform at the office or at a dinner party and then set down when you get home. It is on your phone, in your pocket, looking at you while you eat. It is there when you wake up and there when you can't sleep. The maintenance never ends. The loneliness that comes from this isn't the loneliness of being alone. It's the loneliness of being known only in the wrong way, of being seen constantly but never seen accurately, of receiving affection for a version of yourself you no longer recognize as yours. Jung's prescription was not to destroy the persona. You need it. It serves a function. His prescription was to stop believing you are it. To keep a private life, a life not uploaded, not optimized, not performed, that is large enough to remember who you are when the feeds go dark. This is harder than it sounds. The curated self is rewarded. The uncurated self, the messy draft of a person underneath, has no audience, no likes, no affirmation that it exists at all, which is exactly why it needs your attention. Not the algorithms, yours. There is a face behind the mask. It is tired from being ignored. It has been waiting for years in some cases to be acknowledged by the person it belongs to. The algorithm will never ask about it. That's not its job. That's yours.